Hello and welcome back to the Quiet Corner Sleep Tales. As you find the softest spot on your pillow, let's take a deep, slow breath together. In and out. Our journey begins tonight in a twinkling, tiny town where we find an unusual, beautiful toy shop. It was painted in vibrant colors that seemed to shimmer even in the dark, and its windows were adorned with the most delightful toys one could imagine. But the most extraordinary thing about this shop was not the dolls or the trains, but one very special, gentle resident. His name was Tiny, a giant cat, with fur as soft as clouds at sunrise and eyes as deep and mystical as the night sky. Now, let your mind become quiet and prepare to travel with me.
Once upon a time, in a quaint little town nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests, there was an unusual toy shop. It was painted in vibrant colors that sparkled under the sun, touch, and had windows adorned with the most delightful toys one could imagine. But the most extraordinary thing about this toy shop was not the toys it displayed, but one very special resident. His name was Tiny, but don't let that name fool you, for Tiny was a giant cat with fur as soft as clouds at sunrise and eyes as deep and mystical as the night sky. Now, Tiny wasn't always a giant cat. He was once just a regular kitten, but a twist of magic had transformed him overnight. And when the toy shop owner, Mr. Hubble, found him, he was too enchanted to let him go. So Tiny grew up among dolls, trains, and puzzles, becoming the guardian of the toy shop. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, a lonely teddy bear arrived at the shop. He was placed in the window display among other plush toys, but none like him. This teddy bear was different. His fur was a bit worn, his smile slightly lopsided, but his eyes sparkled with hope and dreams. Tiny, in his nightly rounds, noticed the new arrival. With a gentle heart, the giant cat approached the teddy bear, whose name stitched on his foot read Button. "Hello, Button," Tiny murmured, his voice soft as a whisper. "Welcome to the toy shop." Button, feeling a bit intimidated by Tiny's size, but comforted by his kind voice, replied, "Hello, Tiny. It's nice to meet you. I've heard stories about the giant cat of the toy shop." From that night on, Tiny and Button became the best of friends. They shared stories, dreams, and even secrets. Tiny told Button about the world outside, describing the forests, the hills, and the adventures that awaited beyond the shop's doors. Button, who had never seen the world outside, listened with wide eyes, his heart yearning for an adventure. "Tiny Button," said one night, his voice filled with a mix of excitement and fear, "do you think we could ever go on an adventure?" Tiny, with a glint in his eyes, replied, "Why, Button, I thought you'd never ask." That very night, after Mr. Hubble had locked up the shop and the moon climbed high in the sky, Tiny and Button set out on their adventure. Tiny, with Button securely nestled between his soft fur, padded silently through the streets, heading towards the whispering forests that bordered the town. As they entered the forest, the world transformed. The trees whispered secrets, the stars guided their path, and the night creatures greeted them with curious eyes. They came across a clearing where the moonlight danced on the soft grass, and there they decided to rest. Button, looking up at the endless sky, felt a happiness he had never known. "Tiny," he said, "this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." Tiny, looking down at his friend, replied, "The world is full of wonders, Button, and this is just the beginning." Their adventures took them to the deepest parts of the forest, where ancient trees told stories of old and hidden streams sang lullabies. They met other creatures, some big, some small, but all shared their stories and listened to Button's tales of the toy shop and Tiny's wisdom. One day, as they were exploring a particularly dense part of the forest, they stumbled upon a hidden valley. It was a magical place, untouched by time, where flowers sang and the air shimmered with enchantment. In the heart of the valley stood a tree, grander than any they had seen before. Its branches reaching out to the sky, its roots delving deep into the earth. Button, filled with awe, approached the tree. As he did, a soft light enveloped him, and he felt a warmth spreading through his stuffed body. The tree, it seemed, was gifting him with a touch of magic. From that day forward, Button discovered he could speak to the creatures of the forest, understand the songs of the streams, and feel the whispers of the wind. Tiny, proud of his friend's newfound gift, knew that their adventure had changed them forever. After many moons, when their hearts were full of stories and their spirits brimming with magic, Tiny and Button decided it was time to return to the toy shop. They arrived under the cover of night, slipping back into the shop just as the first light of dawn kissed the horizon. Mr. Hubble, who had missed them dearly, was overjoyed to find them safely back. Tiny and Button, now bonded by their incredible journey, settled back into their home among the toys, but with hearts that held the vastness of the world outside. Every night, as the toy shop closed and the stars took their place in the sky, Tiny and Button would share their tales with the other toys, spreading the magic of adventure, friendship, and the endless wonders of the world. And so, in the little toy shop, nestled between the rolling hills and whispering forests, the legend of Tiny, the giant cat, and Button, the magical teddy bear, lived on, inspiring all who heard their story to dream, to explore, and to believe in the magic that lies just beyond the door. As the story of Tiny and Button settles into the soft embrace of night, remember, dear listener, that adventures await, friendships are precious, and the world is full of wonders waiting just for you. Good night, sleep tight, and may your dreams be filled with magical escapades.